6 years ago, I had to deal with some residents that I think were in fact evil. Back then, it was so hard. I've seen people decimated right in front of me, make my way through a police station that has some really elaborate puzzles for some reason, and watch someone I love die. Now, people say I look sad all the time and that I'm really hot. So hot. I went from police officer to working for the president, and I'm now on the lookout for the president's daughter, who always says weird things like, "My hero," and "Wow, Leon, you're so hot." I don't think she likes me though. My name is Grugster Kennedy, and welcome to Giga Speedhour. I'm so hot. Everyone knows what Resident Evil is, and especially Resident Evil 4, being one of, if not the most popular entry in the franchise and being the most influential video game of all time. One of, that is. Therefore, the remake is exactly that. It's just Resident Evil 4, but honestly so much more than just a remake. While I have never fully played the original, I can tell immediately that the remake does the original justice in so many ways. The remake brought so many changes to combat that I absolutely loved. The new parry system is absolutely perfect and adds a whole new element to how the game could be played, and even adds on to how goofy the game is, to the point that you could just straight up parry a chainsaw attack. The system alone makes what Remake should be: keep most things in the way they were and add new mechanics that help modernize the feeling of gameplay. With the remake modernizing so many mechanics with things like shooting, everything feels so fluid and makes every bullet that hits an enemy feel really impactful. The updated sound design and soundtrack was also very good, especially when it came to music that plays during the many boss fights to encounter, making all of them have me very invested in them. What's even better is that Capcom decided to add a plethora of new enemies that were not seen in the original, and made me really excited to see what other new foes I could encounter. In this age of remakes, this remake alone has set the bar that should be met whenever any company decides to do a remake. With many horror franchises having them, I hope to see all of them can reach this bar. And yes, I'm looking at you, Konami. Please don't fuck up Silent Hill 2, I'm begging you. To no one's surprise, this game is absolutely gorgeous. The lighting and setting are insanely pretty, whether it be in dark caves and corridors or in the daytime by the lakeside. Being able to see the advances in graphical capabilities from what you knew in a game that came out nearly 18 years ago is mind-blowing. Character and enemy design changes are very good, especially in the visual variety of the village people having many distinct differences. The changes to the popular Salvadoran Giant and even the new Brute enemies all look very good and gave a very nice face of makeup to the enemies in the original. The boss redesigns were my favorite of the bunch, seeing all the mutant freaks that you will encounter were very cool looking, with my favorite of them being the Mendez boss fight. The changes to our beloved main characters, with Leon having eyes that look like he's actually seen some shit, and Ashley looking like someone who is actually 20 years old this time around, was very nice to see. Luis looks even more of a ladies' man compared to the original, and Ada is looking as beautiful as ever, further enforcing my love for fictional video game women. Overall, I was very happy to see the visual improvement and redesigns of our favorite characters, and got to give a big thumbs up to Capcom for what they did for them. Like I previously said, I haven't fully played the original, but from what I could tell, the story seemed mostly intact. There were some minor differences that I managed to pick up on, but nothing so different that it felt completely new, and I'm glad it was like that. I was glad that I was able to experience the original story to the completion with a fresh coat of paint to help modernize the experience. The story in general was a fun experience that wasn't too deep that I had to think about the things that I saw. The interactions between Leon and Ashley were great, and I love that Ashley wasn't an annoying side character and only really talked when it seemed beneficial to the story, character development, or to react to actions that Leon was making. To compare the original to the remake, I was glad to see that Leon's character was still intact with his one-liners that he would crack all the time. RIP to my favorite line that he had with Ramon though. You will be missed, bro. Ashley had some good character development as well, and I enjoyed seeing her look up to Leon as the game progressed, as you got to see her become bolder and more confident. Pretty boy Luis was very nice and charming, and while I think he was a little dull just because you don't get to see him a lot, he was very charismatic, making you happy when he got his screen time. Now for really my only complaint, and it's sad to say that has to go over Ada. The character herself has no issues with, she's still mysterious and keeps to herself with her motives just like in the Resident Evil 2, but my complaint has to go to her voice acting. I love Jolene Anderson in the remake for Resident Evil 2, and to see that she was changed makes me kinda sad. In the Resident Evil 4 remake, Ada just kinda sounds emotionless, robotic-like in her speaking. She just constantly had a flat and monotone voice and made it hard to feel like she cared about anything, especially in moments when she purposely helped Leon because she still likes him, obviously. This was my only complaint, and it sucks that it has to be over one of my favorite side characters in the series. The Resident Evil 4 remake was even better than what I hoped for it to be. For me, it set a new bar for what should be expected out of the remakes to come. It brought great new additions to gameplay to improve the already great experience present in the original, and where updated designs on visuals, characters, and enemies could even make people that played the original seem like it's a brand new game. Capcom did an amazing job for such a beloved game in the franchise and gets 10's must-have-slips out of 10. This is your host Grugster signing off, and thank you for watching Giga's Speed Hour.